I've already bought all the upgrades for the purpose of this Let's Play. Believe me when I say that if the upgrades were an integral part of the gameplay, I would have left them in. The Navi bit just tells us where we're supposed to go next. It only works in Tron City, and all it does is make lines appear on the floor to show you where the objectives are. It's not really necessary, but you might have trouble getting around in the first couple levels due to the way the movement system works. Many of the objectives can only be reached with Tron Evolution's platforming, so that's what the Navi bit is for, to show you how to do that. This yellow gunk on the ground and walls will hurt us, but not very much. Its main function is basically just to break our combo. Enemies have a habit of standing right in it where you can't reach them. And like the tutorial said, running along these will refill our health. There's almost always one in every battle situation. So what's this about a heavy disc? Well, we have an alternate fire. We have 4 kinds of alternate fire, and the heavy disc is the heavy attack. Those little energy units underneath our health bars show us how many times we can use an alternate attack. Each alternate attack we perform takes up one of those units, and we can vault ourselves off of certain obstacles in order to refill our energy. Obstacles with energy in them are colored white. They can vary in shape, but they will always have that color. So in addition to us being able to vault over obstacles, we can also run along the wall during combat to fill our health. In specific spots, of course. Now this is our ground slam. Each type of alternate fire has a different ground slam. That was the heavy disc's ground slam. So during combat we can refill our health theoretically infinite times, but we do have to wait for the wall chargers to refill. In spite of this, the game's combat does get rather hard later. I wouldn't say unfairly hard. Here's another special attack. That's what happens if we use the heavy disc alternate fire while running. It's pretty useful. In some rooms it's possible to avoid combat altogether. This is one of them. We just have to activate those 2 terminals. So for these very early enemies, the heavy disc is 1 shot, 1 kill. And so is that fist strike combo. This will change as we get further into the game. If one enemy is standing directly behind another, it will take damage from your heavy disc as well, because it will go through both of them. So Clue seemed pretty quick to pin this whole thing on the ISOs. He said maybe the disc would give him some answers, but regardless of that, he just kinda drew conclusions immediately, didn't he? I don't know, maybe he has really special eyeballs as system administrator, and he could see that the disc was from an ISO.
Flynn! Am I still to create the perfect system? Yeah?
Flynn, go! By the order of Clue, stand down!
Well, this doesn't seem very peaceful at all, and as a peacekeeper, I have some things to say about that. These guys are vulnerable to any kind of attack, but they're still more durable than the infected we've been fighting. They also have discs, which means we have a use for that parry I taught you last video. A single shot from the heavy disc will still take them out. This is also where vaulting off obstacles starts to become a lot more important, because it's a really easy way to evade enemy attacks. Unfortunately for these guys, I managed to kill them all without using a single one. The agility-based enemies are unique in a couple of ways, one of them being that they use the environment like we do. The other is that it's kinda hard to hit them with normal throws and melee attacks because they tend to dodge those. However, our heavy disc will still kill them in one hit. The agility enemies also throw their discs a whole lot faster than normal sentries. Luckily, in spite of this, they seem to take their sweet time deciding when they're going to actually throw the dang thing. The door over here is locked, but we can see that the the infection seemed to take out the window. Alright, do you remember that attack I told you we could do with our heavy disc while running? There we go, that's taken care of. So it's safe to say that Clue must have been planning this a while. I mean, he's got these guys decked out in special suits and everything. It may seem stupid, but it's actually a really good idea to stand in the middle of a fight and just block until someone hurls their disc at you. You can also choose who you parry to. You don't have to parry to the person who threw the disc, it can be anybody. You saw just there the agility sentry completely evaded my melee attack. But again, a single heavy disc will take him out.
Hey, over here! Hurry, before they see you! Take this, upload it to your disk. Makes it easier to get around.
These beefier enemies with heavy shielding are also weak to the heavy disc, but they're also not pushovers. They take a whole 2 hits from our heavy disc. They still take some damage from our parry, but normal disc attacks don't do too much to them. You see that attack didn't wipe them out, even though you saw it completely destroy normal sentries just a bit ago. So Korra gave us this weird disc mod that allows us to use grappling points. She was suspiciously close when all this mess started, but she doesn't look like she's infected herself. She's also probably an ISO, or at least she seemed to say she was, because she wanted to get in there with Radia. Radia seemed to escape. At least we didn't see her after Abraxas landed on the stage. We saw her guards taking her away, or I don't know if they're guards, but we saw them taking her away, and they were also ISOs, so... The grapple mod doesn't add a whole lot to the gameplay, but it does add at least one more mechanic to the platforming, and you're going to be doing a lot of platforming in this game. Even if our Fist Strike can't take out the beefier sentries, it does push them down for a bit. Just like hurling our discs, sometimes the grapple points will be mixed in with normal platforming, but not all that often, really.
was Clue. I saw him. He killed Flynn and Tron. We need to tell somebody. Everybody. They need to know what Clue's done. There's a man who can help us. Zeus. He believes in peace between ISOs and basics. He runs an ISO-friendly club in the city center. He'll know how to get the word out. We should split up. With luck, at least one of us will make it. I'll see you there!
I'm not sure why splitting up would help us any, but whatever, let's get to the end of Lion Club. It says this area is under construction, and it gives us a neat graphical effect that we'll never see for the rest of the game. Back there, that's the last time you'll ever see that graphical effect. I like that the camera slows down right there because it knew that you probably wouldn't see that grapple point before plummeting to your death. So yes, to add further to the Prince of Persia-esque platforming, there are ledges we can grab. Although we don't shimmy along them, we just jump. It looks like our exit was blocked, but who said we were planning to run from this fight? It pays to get this guy off the ledge early, you don't want him sniping at you. What's this about a bomb? Let's see what that bomb disc is about. Oh, it just blows his shield up completely. We'll get into what else the bomb disc does later, but for now all you need to know is that it blows up these guys' shields. They're pretty resilient even without their shields though, so don't underestimate them. This game has a really wonderful atmosphere. Oops, I forgot that guy was there. That's okay. So, we kinda have to trust Cora right now because it's all we have. I can't really see a reason to distrust her though. I'm not sure what she would have to gain from lying. And it's not like she can frame Clue because we saw what Clue did firsthand. There's no way to misinterpret what happened there. He was definitely trying to kill Tron and Flynn. This is kind of a sucky first day for us, huh? The bomb disc also has a slam, and it creates a huge shockwave in a 360-degree area. Absolutely devastating. Of course, there are some enemies that are resistant to it.
That's Zeus. Come on.
Cora, my dear sweet Cora. It's been far too long.
We need your help, Zeus. Something's happened.
If what has happened is half as dire as you're told, I'll need a drink. Libations! Oh. Greetings, Monitor.
He's okay, Zeus. He's with me.
Are you certain? For here, ISOs and basics mingle with abandon. It's the only ISO safe haven in all the city. As you well know, not all approve of such policies. I've heard of the saboteurs that have reared their destructive head of late, and frankly, I like my business. So pardon my caution.
He's on our side, and we need him. Clue's taken over the grid. He must have been planning it for some time. He had soldiers, tanks, who knows what else?
Surely not. How could this happen? Flynn would never allow Clue such reign.
Flynn's dead. Tron too. Clue killed them.
And you know this how?
We saw him do it.
I see. Matters are dire indeed. And just as I was looking to move downtown. But as luck would have it, I can help.
You have a plan?
Zeus always has a plan. But I urge caution. If Clue can harm a user, his reach knows no bounds. You will need an advantage. Your disc, my dear? You now have full access to the Solar Sailor controls. I'd suggest borrowing one bound for Arza City immediately. Find Radia before Clue does. She can spread the news to the ISO factions faster than anyone, and they will listen to her.
Thank you.
Of course, darling. Vive la Resistance. Seems moving day has come a bit sooner